Aloha and welcome to the Liho Sports Podcast, the local in-home online sports talk. Today is February 19th. I am Ben and I'm here with Zahn. Today we'll be talking about Super Bowl 54 and the NBA All-Star Weekend. Zahn, would you like to get us started?
Yep, as Ben mentioned, start off with Super Bowl 54, and what a Super Bowl it was. None other than domination by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So I guess we kind of were right in our predictions, even though we were trying to jinx it. The Bucs did end up winning. Fair play to them. Absolutely incredible game played on all three sides of the field. As you can see, Ben is wearing his Patriots Super Bowl shirt.
It
He
has a
was
12, but it says Alapai.
he was kind of rooting for the former Patriots, and I deep down in my heart I was rooting for the Chiefs, but I was more there for the commercials.
I
After the
didn't
first half, it was for the
I was
commercials.
cheering against Brady the whole playoffs and I was like, you know what, this guy's gonna go to the Super Bowl and I might as well cheer for him because, he's if he gets a seventh, then he's the GOAT. And he got the
Yeah,
seventh, so
I mean, was there really any debate on whether he was the goat anymore or not? Once he
oh
got the
well,
sixth, I'm pretty sure it was
yeah.
like,
I wasn't debating, but the thing is, like, or I just meant GOAT of sports, not of football,
oh yeah,
because they were like, oh, Jordan got six and Brady got six, and then it was like Brady got seven. It's like, I mean, obviously they still like to argue because that's just how it goes. They like to argue it because football is more of a team sport, whatever, whatever.
hmm
But he got seven, so you can't say anything.
yeah,
The thing
and
is,
it's a
the
lot
argument.
harder to make 10 Super Bowls than it is to make
Mhm,
six NBA championships.
yeah, the thing is too, it's easier to argue when it's like even or like close to even. But since he's like just one hole above, it's like kind of
Mhm.
harder to argue. Now it's just like people arguing you, and you're like, I don't really. It's kind of the point of the argument where it's like I don't really care what you have to say. It's honestly like not arguable that he's the goat.
Yeah.
But yeah,
This point, it's the sports goat at this point. Tom Brady
mhm.
has sought, he has conquered. He went to Tampa first season, they win. And I mean, Bruce Arians, good for him. He gets to he wins his first Super Bowl as a head coach.
He was the oldest. He's the oldest,
Yeah,
yeah, now to win it,
I believe so. It's either him or Belichick. There's no
unless we
real
win
other
next year
unless you win next year
with no quarterback.
with Jared Stidham,
Yes, Stidham. Riding hard on the Stidham train, unless Cam Newton signs and Cam Newton train.
or you guys take Mac Jones.
Oh yeah, no, I'll take Mac Jones over both of them.
What about Kyle Trask?
But I heard I'll take him too. I'll take any new quarterback. But I heard someone talking about, or I think it's Colin. He's talking about like us trading for Garoppolo. I was like, no, no.
Imagine trading back for Garoppolo.
He's not like it's just he's actually
You
worse
could
than when
not
he
live
left.
with your
That's the
own
problem.
failure. You could
That's the
not live
problem.
with your own failure.
That's the only problem I have is that Garoppolo is worse than he was before. Like, so why would we
Yeah.
trade back for him? And what do we get? Like a
Yeah.
second for him?
Yeah, you guys got a second for him.
We need to give up something. I'm pretty sure we need to give up more,
No,
or
I
at
think
least the
you guys could
same.
give up a third.
Well,
Maybe a
I mean,
third
I
and a
guess
fifth.
still though, like we'd still have to not. It'd have to be even at least. And the thing is, It's like we'd be paying more technically because he's worse than he was before. He's actually more
He's
hurt,
actually
and
regressed under
yeah,
the
he's
the
regressed.
genius savant of Kyle Shanahan. Like,
Yeah, he regressed, and we're gonna have to pay back the same amount we gave him away for, which I'm not willing to do. So, Mac Jones, it is, or I'll take Kyle Pitts too. He sounds good, but as long as it's like a skill player or QB, no O
we're
lineman, no
like
D
we're
lineman.
not even 10 minutes in and we're already
Yeah. Oh
tangenting.
yeah.
It's fine.
True.
Anyway, back to the Super Bowl. So Brady won Super Bowl MVP, of course. I think this is what his fourth
I think
MVP,
so.
fifth,
I think
something like
fourth.
that. Because Edelman and Deion Branch, I believe, won the other two MVPs.
Mm-hmm.
So fourth or fifth, one or the other.
Yeah.
Vinatieri should have won two of those MVPs just for his clutch kicks. I'm just saying, Vinny's the reason that Brady has three rings, his first three. But in all fairness, huge congrats to Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Last year, they had famous Jameis as their quarterback, the infamous 30 for 30 season, 30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions. And I guess that's all they really needed was a quarterback and some
Mhm.
rejects.
Yeah. I'm just gonna skim over it so we don't go off into a tangent. we do support Sauce to Brady. We love Sauce to
Yes,
Brady.
absolutely, 100%.
I'm
Sauce
just gonna say
Brady
that
was
now so that we
amazing.
don't go deep into it because there's so much videos we could talk about and so much stuff we could talk about. But yeah, we fully support Sauce Brady. It's lit.
Absolutely.
Full send Brady.
Yeah. He enjoying that Florida life with Gronk. He really
Yeah.
is. Um,
But
but
talking about the celebration though, we gotta clarify that we fully support that it's not Mahomes' full fault because if you seen how he was playing, it was literally only him playing. It looked like I see
I
way too much
think
memes about no O line being out on the field, which is pretty much what was happening.
I remember people were making memes of like Mike Remmers has lost 2 Super Bowls for people. Lost one for Cam Newton against Von
Oh
Miller
yeah,
and
I seen
lost
that one.
Mahomes against Shaq Barrett. So
Yeah,
I mean,
poor guy that couldn't catch a break. Kevin King
yeah,
or Mike Remmers, who did worse in the playoffs? Let's talk about it. I'm just joking. I got it right though. I said Kevin King, not Desmond King. No
yeah, good
Desmond King
job. So
slander
this guy
here.
keeps blaming Desmond King, who was out of the playoffs way before the Packers were.
You have no proof. You cannot prove that, so it's not true.
I I will insert a screenshot if I have to.
But
No,
yeah,
but
bro, honestly, I don't know what happened. Kelsey and Tyreek just disappeared in the
well,
Super
Kelsey had a 100-yard game. Like he actually like did something, but it was mostly Tyreek and everyone else who disappeared.
hmm
Like
Bro,
Mahomes,
they were getting covered like a blanket. It is
he was left
disgusting.
out to dry,
hmm
and
My
like
thing was like I didn't know who was gonna guard Kelsey because I mean obviously a DB can, but it's the whole the DB
yeah,
smaller, the
I
linebacker's
mean
too small.
Devin White would probably be is one of the only linebackers I can see in the league. Like him and Roquan Smith are two of the only linebackers I can see who can man to man guard Kelsey
hmm
because they're physical, but they have really good speed.
Yeah, yeah, true. I guess I was gonna say Isaiah Simmons too, just because he's big and fast, but I haven't really seen his coverage because I haven't seen him play that much because they don't play on that much, yeah, or like they try him at different
They started to play him
positions.
more during the end of the season, nearing the end. But like, in like one of his first snaps, like one of his first 10 snaps, I think it was Cardinals Jets. The running back ran a wheel route, or not a wheel route, like an angle route out of the
Mm.
backfield, and right into Simmons' zone, and Simmons lost complete track of him, gone for a touchdown.
Okay, so maybe not then, maybe not.
But I think his coverage skills are getting a little better because I know in that
hmm
Seattle game he actually had a couple good coverage plays.
Yeah, but yeah, we don't fully blame. I mean, obviously, some of the blame does. I mean, it's hard to. It's just because they lost, you gotta pretty much blame everybody. But if you
Yeah,
watch how he was playing, he was literally playing like still like how he usually does with no O line and receivers with no hands apparently.
I think I think Jim Nantz said it the best when he was commentating. He was like something like Mahomes has to scramble again. Like
Yeah,
it seemed like every play that he was scrambling out in the first 2 seconds.
yeah,
And I don't know how you. I think I don't know if PFF like they track like missed sacks or like sacks avoided,
yeah,
but I'm pretty sure he avoided at least like 10 sacks that game
yeah.
just
I'm
by
pretty sure
throwing it away.
I seen a stat. Is like I think I told you. It's like was it 190 or 170 yards he ran? Like not
473 total yards
473.
throughout the entire game. 473, I
Yeah,
believe.
not forward, just like in the backfield, just in
Like
the
most of
backfield,
it was just
trying
like
to dodge sacks. Yeah,
I, I know this was like the clip was played everywhere, and I actually made the top 100 plays of the year, which is hilarious.
yeah. That's so.
Mahomes getting tripped up and like he's straight like vertical or like he's
Yeah, the
horizontal to the
jump and like
ground,
throw,
and he's just throwing it
and then it hit the
like
receiver square in the face, and he still didn't catch it.
I think it was who was it? Daryl Williams, I think,
Yeah, yeah, I
the
think so.
running back.
hmm
And what's crazy is that would have been a touchdown or like a first down or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. No, it
And
would have
like
been.
it happened 3 times. Like that one where he went up to the left, like the left hash mark and was getting thrown out of bounds, and then he chucked it right towards the end
hmm
zone. I'm like, oh, it's going out of bounds, right?
Yeah,
It
and
hit
then the
it
receiver
hit
almost
the
caught it. Yeah,
corner of the end zone. I was like,
yeah,
did he catch that? Because if he caught that, that's the greatest play of all time. Like
yeah.
that's
That was
better than
wild.
David Tyree's catch. Like I'll fully admit that.
I
If
was
that
like, I
play
was watching
happened, I
like
would have.
this, bro. I was watching like this, and then I just seen boom, boom, and I was like, "Oh, what the hell just happened?" And then I seen the receiver come up like this, and I was like, "Did he just catch that?" But then I
I know
seen he
that was my
like
reaction. I was
is
like,
on the ground and he grabbed it. Yeah, I was like, "Bro, he could have."
if that would have been so amazing if he caught that.
Even if they didn't win, that probably still would have been like the best play pretty much out of
The
the whole
best
Super
play of
Bowl.
all, like just ever.
Just because he did the whole 360 and throw, that was wild. Now that's why I feel like I can't blame Pat Mahomes. It's so funny because I don't blame him at all, but I'm just trying to be reasonable in saying it's partly everyone's fault. But I don't
Yeah.
blame him at all.
And what's
Like,
crazy is he did that on turf toe. He had a turf toe injury throughout the
yeah,
entire playoffs.
and probably not a fully like healthy head just because he came off the
Oh
concussion
yeah, that
too.
nerve injury.
What was that like? That was barely a 2 week like break. I mean, he cleared the
Yeah,
protocol,
barely.
but like still probably like
Like, I mean, you got to be a little woozy when someone's like choke holding you.
yeah. No, I seen some guys from high school when I played football in high school. I seen some guys like come off concussions and they're like not the same. They're like different. I'm just gonna say different. I don't want to get too
Yeah,
specific, but they're like different. They're not the same.
we're not going to talk about any specific players just yet.
They
We're not gonna
can't
throw out
make
any
money off their
names.
likeness, so I'm not gonna do any name any names.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
It was an alright Super Bowl. People complained about the halftime show, but since I'm like a huge Weekend fan, I actually understood the halftime show. So
Yeah, no, I feel bad because I mean, obviously, I mean, I'm not gonna say it wasn't good, but it could have been way better if there wasn't like COVID guidelines and stuff like that.
yeah, I think it would have been just because of like the nature of his songs and like how like his song choice was good. They're all songs that
Yeah.
most people know. It's
Hmm.
just there wasn't that many people there, and everyone like I saw like so many people complaining about like, oh, there were 25,000 people at the Super Bowl and I can't even go back to school. Like, shut up already, okay? It's
Bro.
Florida.
Yeah, and I'm like I told Zahn, I'm pretty sure all those people are vaccinated. Not saying I don't know because I don't know the
I
specifics of
know
any of
like
that,
at
but
least 10,000 of them were vaccinated.
no, they were all vaccinated, but still yeah, they were following guidelines. I'm pretty because even though they were
Yeah.
vaccinated, I'm pretty sure everyone who wasn't a family were like still seats apart from people.
And what's crazy is Tampa's been letting people in this entire season. There's been fans at
Mhm.
that stadium this entire season, and no one's complained until the Super Bowl. It's because you guys are casuals. Come on.
Also, guys, they're first responders, so don't roast them, okay? Respect
Yeah,
the first
yeah.
responders.
They're the reason we're still surviving COVID.
Yeah. You can't fight. Everyone will fight against you if you go and roast the first responders. You can't do that.
Yeah, that's unfair. Just so you could go back to school. I mean, I didn't get a proper graduation ceremony.
You don't see
Okay.
me here crying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But
Pretty much.
onto other news in the sports world. After the Super Bowl, there were talks of free agency and the draft coming up because you move into the off season, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes,
And
sir.
time for a quarterback carousel move of like the tables and everything. Coaches
Oh,
leave,
how the
coaches enter.
turntables.
How the turntables, yes. So we've seen three quarterbacks on the move so far as of the recording of this video. Hope hopefully, because I love Deshaun Watson, there's going to be at least one more quarterback on the move
I want a QB. Can we
very
get
soon.
one? Everyone's moving. I just want one. Doesn't need to be that good.
Yeah. So first trade that happened, which was actually I think it was before the Super Bowl that this trade happened.
The Stafford one?
Yeah,
I don't think so. I think it is after.
I thought it was before.
We can
Let me
check. I
double check.
think
It was.
it could have been
Yep, it was. It
before.
was January
Oh, it was?
31st,
Oh, wow.
or at least that's the article that I'm like looking at.
Unless they
And
can
that
predict the
mentioned it.
future, then no.
But anyway, Matt Stafford is officially gone from the Lions after being, at the time of his signing, he was drafted first overall 2009, I think. He signed one of the biggest contracts in NFL history, basically paved the way for Patrick Mahomes and all these guys to get the contracts that they got. So thank you, Matthew Stafford. But he's finally out of the hellhole that is Detroit. Sorry to any Detroit Lions fans if you guys exist. No, I do know a Detroit Lions fan. I know a Detroit Lions fan.
I'm a DeAndre
Um,
Swift fan. Does that count?
a lot of people are DeAndre Swift fans
He
because he
was
went to
saving me in
Georgia.
fantasy.
Yeah, we still lost.
I still respect I still respect him as a player.
Yeah. But Stafford was officially traded back to, I believe, his hometown. No, he's not from Los Angeles. He's from Georgia. I don't remember where he's from, but he's now with one of his hometown friends who also plays in Los Angeles, Clayton Kershaw. He's with the Rams. The Rams gave up 2 first-round picks, one in 2022 and 2023, a third-round pick this year, and Jared Goff and his terrible contract to the Lions in exchange for Matthew Stafford. And at the time before I knew that the Rams gave up like the rest of their draft capital for the next 7 years because they haven't had a first round pick since they got Jared Goff.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a good trade for the Rams because I think Stafford can be a top 10 quarterback in this league and has shown that he has been a top 10 quarterback in the league.
Mm-hmm.
And you get away from Goff, who's kind of been a liability for you guys the past couple of seasons. And Sean McVay gets a new weapon to use in his genius savant offense, as everyone calls it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Lions, they get good draft capital, but with the Rams, if they win the Super Bowl or they make it into the playoffs, the first round pick's not as valuable.
Yeah.
A third round pick, there can be good gems found in the third round, of course, but it's a third round pick. And then Goff, maybe he needs to change the scenery. I mean, he will have absolutely no weapons. His career will probably end up dying as everyone else does in Detroit.
I was gonna say, what kind of change of scenery is Detroit?
I think his girlfriend slash fiance. I don't know if they're like she might leave him because
that's what I heard.
From California to Detroit. Like I wouldn't want to do that.
Jared, go pop a chalky milk.
Like I'm serious. Like who would want to leave California, the beautiful like area of Los Angeles, when you have a mansion there for Detroit? No offense to Detroit, please don't shoot me. But like that's the whole purpose of it. Like 8 Mile, right? That was based in Detroit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Eminem. Yeah. Eminem, 8 Mile. Eminem's from Detroit, I think. Eminem, please don't kill me.
But yeah, I guess
I think it can work for both sides. I don't know what your opinions are on the trade.
It's kind of just a realm of possibilities because obviously Stafford is good, but they need to protect him because although he's really good, not saying he's fragile because I know he's a tough guy, but you know he tends to get hurt. I know obviously we've seen the video of him dislocate his shoulders and throw the ball, so obviously he can fight through injury. But I'd rather not have a QB fight through injury. And the thing that my problem with it is, obviously Jared Goff was good enough to get his team to the Super Bowl before. I mean, obviously he's not doing too good, but if you look, his career has kind of been up and down. But I feel like they gave up kind of not quick because they got time to analyze him, but he's just up and down. I feel like if they found a consistency with him, then they would have been fine because obviously they weren't as bad of a team. I think the problem was they were a playoff team and their worst part of their team was their QB. So instead of trying to have him, get better, they just kind of didn't give him a chance. I mean, obviously it's been a while, but it's not like the thing is Stafford and Goff they can be just as good as each other. Jared Goff, when he's at his best, can be as good as Matthew Stafford, and they kind of gave up a lot. Like I think that's what it is for me too, is that they kind of gave up a lot for Stafford. Is like if it's me, the most I'm giving the Lions is probably like, I guess you can do Jared Goff in a first, but I'd rather give like Jared Goff in a second, just because Stafford, like I said, Stafford's good and I respect him, but like, I don't see him like doing. The Rams don't really need don't need Matt Stafford, but like unless Matt Stafford does good, then it's gonna be bad because they gave up like everything. You know what I mean? Yeah. They kind of invested a lot into Matt Stafford, and my problem with it too is that obviously the Detroit O-line is not that good, but still, he has Kenny Golladay and Marvin Jones Jr. Not taking away from Robert Woods or Cooper Kupp, but like those guys are probably good, if not better than the
if they resign with the Lions, that is.
Or well, I just mean their talent. Like that's what I mean. Like I said, obviously the Rams O-line is way better than Detroit, but still, like he hasn't been comparable. Yeah. It's kind of the same situation. The only difference is the O-line, but still, they have a run game because DeAndre Swift and like all three backs in the run game were doing good. So
Yeah, carry on.
it's not like one side of the ball, not one side, one part of the offense wasn't working, so the other. It's
Mhm.
just I feel like it's pretty much this. They got the same quarterback. I mean, obviously Matt Stafford can be better. They got the same quarterback though, and they gave up like 3 picks or like a lot of picks.
Yeah.
That's just my problem is that they
It
gave up
really
way
just
too much for
depends on
Matt
how the
Stafford.
Rams like. Yeah, it really just depends on how the Rams like continue on.
Because like I
If
think
they
with
no
Jared
good.
Goff, unless he has like, because obviously the thing for me too was Jared Goff wasn't doing bad. He was just doing average pretty much. Like he's getting the job done. So until Jared Goff was like, leading the league in interceptions and
Hmm.
not leading in touchdowns too, then that's where you kind of move on. Because no
Yeah.
one was really complaining. I mean, obviously some people were complaining about Jared Goff, but it wasn't to the point where it's like we need to move on from this guy. It's like this guy got to get
Yeah.
better. That is my thing. They moved on kind
Yeah.
of fast. It seemed like they didn't really want to hold on to him.
Well, I mean, the Cardinals barely gave Josh Rosen a chance, and they moved on from him in a year. Like I feel
Yeah,
bad for Josh Rosen. He might not even be that bad.
yeah,
It's just he got two bad opportunities to like
yeah.
showcase his talents, and I guess he won a ring, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
I guess he laughs at the end of the day. He has a Super Bowl ring.
I mean, with Josh Rosen too, though, they gave up Josh Rosen for Kyler Murray. So you know what I mean. At least they
Yeah,
got better. Like I said, it's kind of iffy with Stafford. That's the only problem is they're not even
yeah,
sure about if Stafford's gonna be better. It's just like we
yeah.
think he is, so we're gonna give this much. But it's like if he's not, then
Hmm.
you're screwed.
It's like in the past he's been this good. Hopefully he can still be that
Yeah,
elite level. Yeah,
because
I get
because
what you mean.
because tell me right now, if Stafford say he gets injured or doesn't do good like at all, like he just doesn't work out, then what? Like they can't draft, they can't trade because they have no picks. You know what I mean? Like what are
Hmm.
they gonna do
Yeah,
then?
they're stuck into this 2 year contract. They're
Yeah.
3 years left, whatever's left with Stafford's contract.
Hmm. Well, how much was on Jared again?
He was on like 5 years, like 105, something like that, maybe more.
Like, so it would have been 4 or would have been 5? Like, what did this count as a year?
Wait, let me look at off.
Because my thing with Stafford is you can
Sorry,
kind of
four
tell what you're
years,
gonna get.
134. That was signed in. Oh, so oh,
What happened?
so he has 4 years left, or
4 years
potential
left.
opt out in 2023, right?
Hmm.
But if not, his cap hit over the next 3 years is 27 mil, 25 mil, 25 mil, 26 mil.
So is that like regardless of if they keep him or not, or like you know what I mean? Like if they cut him or whatever, or is that like
So if he opts out in the 2023 year, it's zero dead cap. But if they were to like cut him right now, it's a $43 million dead cap hit.
mm, okay?
And
Nah,
for
yeah.
the next year it's 15 million.
Yeah, that's my only problem is that with Stafford, you kind of can tell. I mean, obviously, unless he has like, what is the chances of him having a breakout season? But if he does, I'm not hoping the worst for anybody. But like from Stafford, you kind of know what is the best you can get. Like obviously, his best performance. I mean, he hasn't been to the Super Bowl, right?
Stafford?
Yeah,
No, he's been to what, one playoff appearance and they got screwed.
yeah. Okay, so that's what I mean is like you've seen Matt Stafford at his best. And Jared Goff, he wasn't even at his best, and he went to the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? I mean, obviously he was playing good, but obviously that's not his best because he is barely like, not barely doing anything, but you know what I mean? Like he wasn't the best player
Mm-hmm.
on that team, or that wasn't their best side of the ball. But like, at least Jared Goff, you still have time to change. You still have chance to. You have still have a chance to like mold him into a better quarterback. But like with Stafford, it's kind of like you know what you get. The thing is, I don't really know what they're expecting out of Stafford. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, because if you expect his best, obviously his best is like you said to the playoffs, but pretty much from then on, you don't know what you're gonna get from him. You know what I mean? For all we know, he
Yeah.
could he could carry them to the Super Bowl and he chokes it. I mean, obviously he doesn't seem like that type of guy, but he could just choke it. Like he could go Cam Newton mode and do like nothing. But yeah, that's just my thing. I feel like they invested too much into like there's
Yeah.
just better people they could have gone with.
Hmm. I mean, they could have traded for this next quarterback that we're going to talk about.
Yeah,
This trade happened yesterday as of recording. Wait,
I think 2 days ago.
sorry. Something came up on Twitter, and I wanted to make sure it wasn't like breaking news because I saw
I
who
know.
the
I'm
picture
waiting. I'm
was.
waiting till we're filming, and then like I get like Deshaun Watson traded to the
Yeah,
Patriots, and I'm like,
exactly. Because
surprise
I
news.
just got something that it had Deshaun Watson as the picture, and I
Oh,
wanted to make sure it wasn't that he just got traded. So we're fine.
that would have
They're
been
saying
nice.
that if there's a report saying that if the Texans do make Deshaun available, that the Dolphins are going to be in the mix. So
Bro, I literally hate that. That's so irritating.
that's so it's so dumb. Give Tua a chance. Like, come on. Like,
I
it's
wonder.
ridiculous.
You know what it is too. I wonder how true it is. You know what I mean? Because like obviously
Yeah,
they
it could
tell
very
us
well just be
stuff,
smoke screens.
and then and then all of the Dolphins players are like, what the hell are they talking about? Like, like Dolphins players apparently don't like Tua, and then they're all like, who said that? Like,
So who
what?
said that? But anyway, this trade is with the Colts and the Eagles. Carson Wentz, the second quarterback. Was he the second or first quarterback taken in the 2016
Second,
class?
it was Goff, and
Second.
then Wentz.
So both of them have been traded now, but Carson Wentz is on the move to play with his old offensive coordinator,
Hmm.
Frank Reich, in Indianapolis, behind probably one of the best O lines in the league. I'll say that right now. The Indianapolis Colts gave up a third round pick this year and a conditional second round pick next year that can turn into a first if he plays
70%.
75% of the snaps or 70% of the snaps and the Colts make the playoffs.
Oh yeah, that's it. Okay.
Yeah.
What
So
I want to hear what you have to say because I have kind of an opinion on it, but I want to hear what you have to say.
the Eagles are screwed.
No, there's no escaping that they are screwed.
Apparently, there was a report that Schefter put out that Doug Peterson, the former head coach of the Eagles, and Carson Wentz didn't talk to each other for like 9 to 10 weeks throughout the season, which is ridiculously
That's
bad
petty.
chemistry for a
That's
quarterback,
petty.
and that's really petty. There's a reason Doug Peterson's out as the head coach. One, not just because he screwed the Giants over. So I'm sorry for even rooting for the Eagles in the beginning, but two, because that's meant to be your franchise guy.
Hmm.
3 4 years ago, Carson Wentz's like first time playing, he was up for MVP candidacy if he didn't
Yeah,
get hurt in Los Angeles. He probably would have won MVP. I'm gonna be honest. He probably would have won.
they still probably would have won the Super Bowl too. Now that I think about it, they probably would have had a better
Yeah,
chance just
but
because they wouldn't have to replace with Nick Foles.
their Messiah, the nickname I cannot currently say
Yeah.
on YouTube, which is by the way the greatest nickname in all of sports. I don't care what
Interesting
anyone
fact.
says.
Interesting fact. I did not know Tyler the Creator made that. Did you know that? Did you see that TikTok I sent you?
Yeah,
He created the name.
I saw that. Yeah,
I was like,
that's such a
there's
great
no way.
nickname.
I was like, there is no way that's what it's from. I was like, what the heck?
That's
But
such a
apparently
great
he made it
nickname.
up. Hmm.
It's just amazing. And like there's fans who have that jersey with that on the back, number
I
9,
wouldn't
it
doubt
says
it.
that
I
nickname.
wouldn't doubt
It's
it.
beautiful. Only Philly fans could do that, honestly.
Yeah.
No one is crazier than Philadelphia fans.
Shout out
But
EDP 445.
shout out EDP, yeah,
He's
absolutely.
a beast.
Did you see his video of when Wentz got traded?
You know what's
He
funny? I
posted like
haven't watched it, but I gotta go watch it because I love watching his reactions to stuff. I
it's
watched him.
literally like a 20-second video of him just staring at the camera. It's
I
hilarious.
I love watching him watch them draft Jalen Hurts. He just like what the and then just dropped on the ground
Yeah.
and he just stood there for like a good 5 minutes. Gets up. He's like, "What are we doing?" I'm like, "Bro, that's hilarious."
Yeah,
Had me
no, but
dead.
I actually think this is a great trade for the Colts.
Hmm.
In my opinion, they are maybe one wide receiver and they were a quarterback away from being a real Super Bowl contender. That defense is amazing. I think
Yeah.
Darius Leonard is one of the most underrated players in the league. I love Darius Leonard. He's incredible. I saw this stat where he's like one of the only players since like 2015. He was
Yeah, I
drafted
seen
in
that
like
one.
2018 with 400 plus tackles and like 15 plus sacks or whatever it
Yeah.
was. It's ridiculous. But like Darius Leonard's amazing. That defense is still pretty young. DeForest Buckner, Punahou grad. I would love to
Rock
get him on the
in.
podcast, but that's never gonna happen. Um, Rigoberto Sanchez, the punter, he went to
Hmm.
University of Hawaii. Rodrigo Blankenship goggles. Like
Oh yes, sir. Goggles, big
It's
goggles. That's my guy on
yeah,
fantasy.
no, that's
Also
actually
too,
just
shout out him. He saved me too a couple
yeah,
times.
a couple times. But that team is actually really good. I love Frank Reich as a head coach. I think he was a really good signing. The only reason he got signed is because Josh McDaniels declined. But I
Mhm.
actually think it worked out for the Colts in the end because I like Frank Reich. He of course is the reason I think the Eagles won the Super Bowl in my opinion because after he left the Eagles kind of went down a little bit. Not gonna
Mhm.
lie. But Carson Wentz played some of his best football with Frank Reich, and now he's back in that system behind a much better O line than it was in
Yeah.
Philadelphia. And he has some young weapons around him. Jonathan Taylor is a really good young running back. He has tight ends in Trey Burton and Mo Ali Cox and even Jack Doyle. Wide receivers in Michael Pittman and maybe T.Y. Hilton, depending on if they work out contract issues.
I think he's gonna resign just because it got Wentz.
Yeah, I think he very well could.
Yeah.
But I think everything is up and up for the Colts. I think they're now in the prime position to compete with the Titans for the AFC South. I think the Texans and the Jaguars are still screwed, no matter who the Jaguars draft at the first
Mhm.
overall, whether it be Lawrence or Wilson. Also, I was seeing something. Some like this is probably the biggest smokescreen of all time, but some teams have Zach Wilson ranked higher than Trevor Lawrence on their draft boards.
Zach Wilson, high control. I mean, they could. I mean, it's really because they could know something that we don't. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like I was about to say something really bad. I'm not gonna say like Trevor Lawrence could have something bad about him that we don't know about. You know what I mean? And Zach Wilson could have something really good, but we don't know. Cause like I guess it's kind of the same as like that Michael Parsons, just because
Yeah,
of
Michael
the
Parsons.
just because of like the hazing scandal. You know what I mean? Could be something like that. Not saying it necessarily a scandal, but it could be something that they know that we don't. You know what I mean? And obviously they're not gonna whether it's good or bad, they're not going to bring it to light. You know what I mean? They're not going to have it affect because that's kind of stuff you want to keep on the low. So, just like whatever. You know what I mean? Could be something like that. Could not be. I am not accusing Trevor Lawrence of any scandals. I'm just saying that's what it could be. I'm just saying it could be something quiet, something low key. But yeah, I guess for this trade, I mean, I think the Colts win. Honestly, I don't know. I mean, I know why the Eagles moved on from Wentz, but it's not like he was the problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the thing for me is it's not like as of right now anyway. Jalen Hurts is not better than Carson Wentz. I mean, yeah, stat wise, but you know what I mean. Like I said, with these young quarterbacks, they give up so fast because they need like a win right now QB. But like
Yeah. I mean,
they,
look what happened with Josh Allen. They gave Josh Allen 3, 4 years to develop, and
mm-hmm,
he's now an MVP candidate and one of the best quarterbacks. And that's why
yeah,
that's why I'm glad we're giving Jones one more year. We're
yeah,
giving him his third year at least just to see how he progresses. And if he doesn't progress, then you can move on. But like,
yeah,
I think that's something that's kind of been screwed over in the league now is they don't give quarterbacks enough of a chance anymore.
yeah.
Like they don't give them time to develop or anything.
Mm-hmm,
It's kind of they're kind of wishy washy. They just want the Super Bowl now. They want to go with that
mm-hmm,
with the rookie contract of the quarterback. They save salary cap and can build with other pieces. But I don't know. It's
yeah,
I think it can work out for both teams. But I think if the Colts win a Super Bowl, absolutely.
yeah. They don't. The thing is, they don't realize though. Like I forget who it was. I was watching someone's show, and they said the best way to like jump on the I think it's Shannon Sharp was like to jump on the contracts is like you sign it like with Gronk, like we extended him right off his rookie contract because we figured like, oh, he's gonna be good. You know what I mean? I'm obviously there's a lot of risk. They could be terrible, but like
Mm-hmm.
that's the best way. You know what I mean? And then like people complain or like I'm sure they complain like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done this or like why are they saying we should have done this? And it's like they're saying it because that's probably the smart thing to do is like take time and invest in players instead of trying to spend more to get them when they're good. You know what I mean? Because then if you
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
you seem like a genius if you do it and what I mean? Obviously, you can trade out like how they did, but like you can't. They can't really be mad at you for trying to take. It's just a smarter chance to invest money wise, like early on, than it is to like try and spend so much money on a player later on. You know what I mean? When they're good, like you gotta jump the gun, kind of, because you seem smarter then if you jump the gun and it works, and if you jump the gun and it doesn't work, as long as you're not like too cocky about it, you know what I mean? Just like do it. Like
Yeah.
don't be like, oh, we think this guy's gonna be like the greatest player ever. Like, just do it and be like, oh, we believe in him. You know what I mean? They can't like blame you for believing in someone. That's how the football works, and that's how signing a player works. Is you gotta believe in them. You know what I mean?
It's like people clowned Andy Reid for trading him for Patrick Mahomes. Who's clowning him now?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, obviously, it could work, it could not work, but like, it's just like, you know what I mean? There's chances everywhere. It's just you gotta take the one that makes you look least dumb, and that's how you not get fired, like Doug
Yeah.
Peterson.
Uh, well, speaking of trades, we're actually going to move on to the NBA now,
Oh yes,
and we're
sir.
going to talk about one of the trades that happened in the NBA with my New York Knicks,
D
and
Rose.
we traded for Derrick Rose. D Rose, he's back in the Mecca. He's back in the Garden. We gave up Dennis Smith Jr. and a second, which I'm okay with. I like DSJ, but he just wasn't getting playing time for us, and
Mm-hmm.
honestly, we have way too crowded of a guard room anyway. I'm surprised we still have some of the players we have. But of course, deadline's coming up and anything could change with that. But I'm happy with it. Rose has played pretty well so far for us.
No
He
one's gonna
adds,
complain about getting D Rose. You know what I mean? No one's gonna
yeah,
complain about that.
everyone loves D Rose. But I think he's going to add a great veteran presence for our team. Our team's still pretty young. We have RJ who's just turning 20, Manuel Quickly who's 22, Julius Randle's only 25, Mitchell Robinson's like 22, 23. We have a very young team still, and
Mm-hmm.
I think Rose adds a really good veteran presence to that team. And I mean, we've been playing good so far. I mean, Julius Randle, in my opinion, I'll get to this later, but he's an all-star. I'm gonna leave it there. But this trade, it looks to be all right so far. We didn't really give up much anyway for it, and it's not like we had a bad cap situation. But all of this is stemming from that Porzingis trade.
Yeah.
That Porzingis trade that happened a couple years ago, this tree is just expanding because it was more than just what we got in the trade. It was also the cap space that evolved, and a part of that cap space was signing Julius Randle. Obviously, we tried to go for KD and Kyrie, but they went to the other New York team, the not as good New York team. No, I'm kidding. That Nets team is ridiculously good.
I just thought about it too. Even or not even, but you guys would have signed. I don't know if it still would have happened. It kind of would have, but you guys would have signed. The plan was before was you guys signed Kyrie, KD, possibly get Zion, right? But obviously we know that wouldn't have worked because you guys didn't have the pick for it, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it whatever the percentages, whatever would have happened. But say even if you guys didn't get Zion, then you guys would have been the big three with Harden too. I just thought about it.
honestly, because we could have traded RJ for Harden, and like
Yeah.
it could have been us, but it weren't. It's not us. We're the
Oh, you guys still
lowly
could have got
like.
Obi too. I just thought about that. You guys would have
Mhm.
had Kyrie, Harden, KD, Obi, and like Mitchell Robinson. Oh, that would have been nuts.
Mitchell Robinson was a second round pick. Like
Mm-hmm.
he turned out to be he's turning out to be really good for us. Hopefully he heals well. Again, I'll get to this in the next recap, but I like the D Rose trade. I'm not going to be
Mm-hmm.
against it.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the D Rose trade too. I mean, obviously, I like D Rose. I'm hoping still. I mean, it's pretty not impossible, but unlikely that D Rose go back to the Bulls. But I hope before he retires, he gets to go back one last time.
Mhm.
Back home. Poor guy. I always get sad when I see that video of him crying because he got traded.
Yeah, that always it gets me in tears because like he grew up in Chicago. He was drafted by them. Like
Mm-hmm.
he won an MVP there. He almost went to an NBA championship there. Like yeah,
If Obi tears his ACL and you guys trade him, that's basically the same thing.
pretty much. Or even RJ. Or like
Oh yeah,
it's like if
RJ.
the Giants traded Saquon after he tore
Yeah.
his ACL. Like if we
Mm-hmm.
trade Saquon now, it's kind of like the same thing because his dad's from Brooklyn. Like
Damn, that big rip. Let's hope none of that happens. Zan's talking about how he didn't want to buy a Saquon jersey because he thought that he's gonna get traded. And I had to reassure him.
I,
I was like, they're definitely not doing that because that's your guy's best player.
you never know. This world's crazy. We never thought we would trade Odell.
True.
That's all right. That's all right. Well, now it's time to move on to the All Star game. All Star game is March 7th on TNT. I don't know why I'm plugging this like I'm a part of the NBA, but they're combining like everything into one. The halftime show is gonna be like the dunk
It's gonna be
contest and
everything, yeah.
yeah, the dunk contest and like the 3-point. contest.
And I'm pretty sure, do they have skills still?
I don't know if they're having skills, and I know they're not having Rising Star.
I think they wanted to have skills because I heard them talking about how they wanted to have LaMelo on the skills.
Yeah, I think that would be.
I feel like the skills would be kind of hard though,
I'm
because they
so
have
sad
all the
that
obstacles.
they really need to change the dunk contest to allow there to be multiple winners. I'm sorry, but after what Aaron Gordon's done, like
They should have just tied. I don't know why they didn't
two of
tie.
his 3 dunk contests are the greatest dunk contests of all time. That one with Zach LaVine, they both should have won. That one with Derrick Jones Jr., they both should have won.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. And I actually like the 2016 one better because the crowd was a little bit more into it. I don't know what was up with Chicago last year. Like, Chicago's normally
it was weak,
yeah. It wasn't as like good as I expected because there were some really nice dunks.
I think it's like with the Super Bowl. Once you see the best one, like the most entertaining one, like the Patriots, then it's just like you're like waiting for that. Yeah, it's not as entertaining when it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
When it's not Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine, then it's not as entertaining.
Or when it's not Vince Carter, like that, because that Vince Carter one in '98 or '99, whatever it was, 2000.
Mm-hmm.
That's the greatest dunk contest in my opinion, just for Vince Carter's dunks alone, because it was like he revitalized the dunk contest into what it is now. And that's kind of what Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine did too in 2016. Dunk contest that fell off and they brought it back. Aaron Gordon is the revitalization of dunk contests. I'm gonna say it right now. The most unique dunk contest dunker of all time.
Zach LaVine, basically, the thing that I was kind of junked to is that, I mean, obviously Zach LaVine probably could be a better dunker just because he fly. Aaron Gordon is mostly like he gets up just because he has like, I think like he's like stronger probably in jumping, but Zach LaVine like just flies, bro. Like he doesn't. It's not even his jumping. He just floats off the floor and stays up there.
But I mean, speaking of Zach LaVine, I hope he makes the All-Star game. That man has been killing it this year.
Poor guy. He's stuck there with no one to help him.
Yeah. But the starters for the East, the guards are Kyrie Irving and Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal makes sense. Kyrie Irving, it does make sense, but I mean, I would have liked to see Zach LaVine there instead of Kyrie. Just my opinion. And then Kevin Durant, who's the captain for the East team, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Joel Embiid.
Mm-hmm.
Embiid makes perfect sense in my opinion. Giannis, obviously, it's Giannis.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kevin Durant, he's been having a pretty good season, I would say. Besides the injuries. Injuries are the only like bad thing.
Yeah. What about?
I'll let you talk about the West because
I was gonna say not the West.
Even your team's in the West, my team's in the East, so I have the right to talk about the East. You have the right to talk about.
Even though Dame should be Dame instead of Curry. Curry is a starting point guard.
Curry, no, not Curry. Luka, bro.
Oh, Luka's point guard.
Luka's point guard.
Oh, okay. Then was Curry shooting guard?
I mean, they choose two guards anyway. It doesn't really matter.
Oh, okay.
Both to be point guard.
Starting guards, Luka and Curry, right? And then Braun at small forward, power forward. I cannot remember for the life of me right now.
Kawhi.
Oh, Kawhi, and then center is Jokic. I mean, obviously Jokic. Jokic is destroying at this. I honestly don't think there's. I mean, obviously Joel Embiid is doing good, but I feel like Jokic is just more skilled than him.
Well, Jokic is the better playmaker, obviously.
Yeah, it's just because Joel. I think just because Joel can do what centers can do, or like what centers are known for doing, and Jokic can do like. Not saying because Joel obviously is stronger than Jokic probably, but like Jokic can just do different stuff. That's why I think he's a little bit more dynamic than a normal center.
Yeah, he has better ball handling and that playmaking ability.
Yeah. But pretty much what I wanted to talk about in this segment.
I'll let you do this. I've had my share of rants on this channel. It's finally time for Ben to share his rant.
It is my
I'm just gonna sit back and laugh and enjoy this one.
I'm gonna try to keep it as calm as possible, just because I don't want to be like Stephen A. Because I hate watching him when he gets mad. But since I brought up Stephen A., I'm gonna say Stephen A. even said Dame should be in the running. I forget who. Someone made a list. I forget. They did like a top 5 list of the MVP frontrunners, and someone didn't have Dame in theirs. And then Stephen A. was like, "Forget about like your list and how it's set up." He's like, "You don't even have Dame in there." He's like, the guy's like, "Oh yeah, because I said it's like a changing list." And I think the thing that's hard for me right now is Dame is playing at a MVP level. The reason I'm not like excited that Dame is doing good is just because CJ and Nurkic are out right now, and I know for a fact that's telling Zahn when they come back we're gonna be worse. Actually, I know it doesn't make sense, but trust me, it's gonna happen. We're gonna be worse than we are now, just because I feel like the way our team is built, we need to play how we're playing now. Because if we play like how we're playing now, then we should be fine. It's basically we gotta let Dame shoot. We gotta let Dame be Dame, and then CJ gotta take a smaller role just because that's how it works. I don't know. I don't know why that's how it works, but that's how it works. We just gotta let Dame get hot and play hot, and then let CJ sit back. Obviously, CJ can take charge when Dame's not doing good, but like we just can't have CJ like not I'm not saying taking away from CJ, but that's just how our team works, guys. I don't know why it works like that. Trust me, we have all the talent in the world. People said we need defense. We got defense. We're still not doing good with CJ and Nurkic and Robert Covington. I'm like, I don't know what the problem is, but I feel like we figured out that's why, because we're fifth in rankings overall right now. I think is it overall? Might be overall or
You're
just in the
fourth in the
West.
West, right?
Yeah. But then like okay, my thing is I don't know why Curry, because Curry and Dame are putting up, if I'm not wrong, pretty much the same numbers.
I actually understand Steph more than I understand Luka because Curry's averaging 35 and I don't know what is this.
What is Dame averaging now? I don't
35 and 6 on the season. And if I go to leaders, um, I don't know what the percentage is. Oh, Bradley Beal is leading the league in field goal percentages. Let me look at this. Points. Curry has the most points, but points per game, it's known. I did not mean to click on that. So this is basketball reference. Yeah. So Curry has 30. Dame has basically 30. He's 29.8. And then Luka is not in the top 20. No, never mind. He's right here with 29.1. I completely spaced that. No, never mind. He's doing incredible. And then if we go to assists per game, Jesus Christ. Okay, never mind. I know why Luka's there. 9.4 assists.
Was he almost averaging a triple double?
Let me look at his rebounds. He's not on. Oh, he's almost averaging a triple double. Luka is almost averaging a triple.
What is this 2K? What is this 2K where Luka wins
Luka's
MVP from averaging a triple double?
He's averaging 29, 8, and 9 right now.
29, 8, and 9. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I understand.
And Lillard's
but
averaging like 29 or 37 and like 4.
Here's my question. Do you think if we get to second in the West, do you think Dame wins MVP?
Yeah, I think so. I think because who's top of the West right now?
Or like where do you see us? Like
Jazz.
where would we have to be in order for Dame to win MVP, you think?
I'd say top 3 in the West. I think you have to be above the Clippers or the Lakers.
Okay. Yikes. I don't know if that's gonna happen, guys. Like I said, we're gonna get worse only. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to get too in depth just because there's not much to talk about it. Because obviously, I know everyone knows that Dame got snubbed, but you know what I mean. It's like,
see what I think is the problem is that there's too many good guards in the West.
Yeah.
Like, if we're being honest, Curry, Luka, and Dame all deserve to start in the All-Star game.
Yeah.
Like, I would honestly take away Kyrie Irving's spot because it's a draft anyway, right?
Yeah.
Take away Kyrie Irving's spot, give it to Dame.
Okay, yeah, I see.
Because Kyrie Irving's is he even in the top 20 for points?
I don't know. According to fantasy, he's not doing too well.
Yeah, he's not
Chris
even
Paul's doing better in fantasy.
There's no way is Kyrie Irving not in the top 20 in
not
points
even
per game.
I think he just started. I think he just came back to last game. I'm pretty sure it's hurt.
Where is Kyrie? Am I okay? I think I'm blanking because I don't see Kyrie Irving on this list.
What is that for points?
Yeah, points per game.
Kyrie.
I need
Here,
to look up Kyrie Irving right now. Was it?
let me see. I'm gonna try it too. I'm trying to
He's
think.
averaging 27. Never mind.
Okay, not
I
too
don't know
bad.
what I was looking at. It's because he's only played 21 games. That's why.
Yeah. I mean, like even then though, it's like, wait, where are the Nets ranked in the East?
The Nets
Are
are
they number one?
third in the East, second in the East. Hey, the Knicks are
Yeah.
seventh. Let's go.
Or like, because my main problem with it was like, I didn't have a problem with it. Obviously, it doesn't really matter. But the thing for me was that I saw your story, right? And it's
Mhm.
talking about how Dame won the player vote and the media vote, and then the fan vote was like, I mean, obviously it's different, but like that.
He
It's
lost by
like,
like what, 500K?
yeah. As
Hey, Tyler
explaining to
Hero was
Zahn,
averaging 17. Not bad. Not bad, Benny,
yes I
averaging
am.
17.
As like yes I am, but it's just like it's so weird because the percentage, like you would think the fan vote wouldn't count for much. You know what I mean? Like the
I think,
media
yeah.
and the player, or like the player vote, you would think would count for more
Mhm.
than anything, right? And like Dame won the player vote and the media vote, and then they won. I was explaining to Zahn, it's like you in a UFC, a guy wins the first 3 rounds, and then the other guy does good in the last 2 rounds, and then they decide to give it to the guy who won the 2 rounds, and it's like, you
I
know what I
mean,
mean? Like,
it has happened in the UFC. We're going to talk about.
oh yeah, we explained
We're
that
not
too
going to talk
about
about that
Vocal,
second vocal fight. Yeah.
but he's gonna get dropped by Max next time, so it doesn't really matter. But like,
Well, no, he's going to get dropped by Ortega first.
oh yeah, true. He might even lose to Ortega. It is. I hope he does. I hope he wins, just so that's who's Max fighting. No, obviously I want Ortega to win, but like if Vocal wins, and it's like, okay, now Max gets to fight Ortega. Vocal. He keeps
All I'm
dodging
saying is
though.
Julius Randle is averaging more points than Anthony Davis this season.
Oh wait, I just thought about that. Wait, who's? Oh yeah, Julius Randle. I can't. Not. He's not better than Giannis, but you know what I mean. It's Giannis.
Giannis is averaging 28 points a game. And he's also averaging, what is it? Where's the rebounds?
It's probably
Let me
like
just check.
blocks and steals too. Yeah, because I know
So
that's
he's
usually.
averaging 11 rebounds and 6 assists a game with 28 points.
Oh, he's pretty close to triple double too.
Yeah.
Because he's actually in double double right now. He's averaging a double double.
Yeah. Let's just, yeah, he's, oh God. Why is Giannis so good?
But yeah, I don't really want to go on
He's
further
averaging
just
almost 2 blocks
because.
a game.
I mean, that's usually what happens on 2K. That's why I kind of assumed it.
Yeah. I didn't realize Luka was putting up those kinds of stats. Like I knew Luka was having a good season, but like, okay, so I'm gonna throw one name out there just because I had this conversation. So follow Liho Gaming on YouTube. We should probably put the link in the bio of this video.
Mm.
But follow Liho Gaming. We do streams of Madden. We're probably gonna do 2K streams, Fortnite, anything. We're doing gaming streams pretty much, and we're gonna start doing videos as well. But while we were doing a stream, I know a doctor. I'm throwing a name out there because he most likely will feature on this podcast at some point when he actually decides to join.
Mm-hmm.
He was telling me how Dame got snubbed, and of course he's a Trailblazers fan, so I was expecting it anyway. But he was basically telling me how he's doing better than Luka. And now that I'm looking at the basketball reference stats and everything, the only thing he's better than Luka in is points right now.
I think Doc meant just like in a team sense. You know what I mean? Obviously, I think that's
Because he was mentioning how it's like, oh, like we're doing really good. We're like third in the West and we have no one. And I'm like, but that's kind of how Dame rolls. Like, and I think that's the issue with it is like he gets overlooked for the fact that that's just how he is. That's how he's always been. Dame's never really had anyone. Like
yeah,
he's had good role players, but he's never had another superstar with him.
yeah.
But I don't think he needs another superstar. That's the weird thing
That's
about
it. Yeah, that's what I said. Like I said, we don't need better players. It's just like
you just
I don't
need
know what it
players who
is.
can do their who can play their role. With Luka, yes, he has Porzingis, but Porzingis has not been good this year. Like he's had a couple really good games, but he hasn't been the Porzingis like how he
Yeah.
was, like the all-star level. So I mean, like I said, if there was one player I would take out, it would be Kyrie Irving, and I would give that spot to Dame just because like since it's a draft, why not let the three best guards in the league be the
Yeah.
3 best guards in the league.
Hmm.
It's like it's that whole thing with the dunk contest. Why not give out 2 trophies?
Yeah. I see what you
I
mean. Yeah,
think
I didn't want to go too far into it just because I can say all I want, but nothing's gonna happen. So I'm just stating
yeah.
that I think
I
it's
mean, at the
bad,
end of the
but
day, he's gonna be an all-star.
yeah,
He's gonna be in the reserves.
hopefully, hopefully.
If he doesn't, then the league is rigged. But the reserves are basically done by the coaches anyway, so he's gonna be probably the first reserve on the list.
He's got to be right.
And the one reserve I hope for is Julius Randle. Please let this guy
No, I
make the
think
All-Star.
he's gonna make it.
I think he is too, but you never know. You really just never know. But
Hmm.
Julius Randle, just because of what he's done for the Knicks so far, and this is gonna actually carry me into the next segment, which is we're gonna be talking about our teams. Not like we haven't already done that this episode, but Julius Randle has basically revitalized basketball in the Garden. The Knicks have been terrible for the past 10 years since the last time we made the playoffs. I loved Melo and I loved Porzingis, but we just could never get over the hump in the
Yeah.
whatsoever. We did win a playoff series with Melo, but that's about it. We ran to the Heat in the next round. But it's weird because the way this team plays, it's not like they were carrying the weight of the worst team in the league over the past 8 years or whatever.
Hmm.
This team's playing like how any Tom Thibodeau team plays, with heart, with grit, with like fire, with defense, all that stuff. And they play good. I mean, of course, they have some nights like the last game we played against the Magic. We like went 1 of like 18 from the field in the third quarter or something stupid like that. Like we had a terrible third quarter, terrible fourth quarter, and we gave up like a 6-point lead at half. But I actually enjoy watching Knicks basketball now. This is the first time I've watched over 10 games of Knicks basketball since Melo was on the team. And that's saying something because I love sports. Like I used to not watch Knicks basketball just because we were so bad. And like the occasional game that I caught, somehow we would win. Like one
Nice.
time I was watching us play against the Spurs because it just happened to be on, and we killed them. And Dennis Smith Jr. almost had the greatest dunk of all time, but it hit off the back rim. But back to what I was saying, the Knicks, I enjoy watching them play basketball again. I hope we make the playoffs, even if we get knocked out in the first round by whoever it is, the 76ers, the Nets, the Bucs, whoever it is. I just want us to make the playoffs again, and I want to see Knicks basketball playoffs in the Garden for the first time in 11 years, 10 years, however long it's been.
Okay, for my team recap, I'm gonna keep it kind of short just because I kind of went over it. But like I said, I guess I'm kind of being negative about it right now. But I just hope, because I said as soon as CJ and Nurkic come back, we're gonna get worse. And the thing is, I'm not saying they're bad. It's just that's not how the team works. I guess I don't know. It's so weird because it's like you could give Dame like, I'm not saying Kevin Durant because obviously we'd be good with Kevin Durant, but like what I mean, we could get a superstar, and that's not the problem of us winning. It's like, which I don't know what the problem is. We can't seem to figure it out. But as of right now, the best option I see us, or the best way I see us working, is that we just let Dame do Dame stuff, and we just be there. Everyone else is just there to pick up the pace if he's having a bit of a hard time, or if, like, whatever, you know what I mean? Because obviously CJ is good. I feel like most of the time I underestimate him, but CJ is a really good guard. I'd say he's pretty much Klay Thompson, not as good as Klay Thompson. He could be just as good, but it's just because it's CJ. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, like CJ could be probably just as good, but I feel like I don't know what the problem is because we're basically, like, the way I think about this is like we're like a Walmart Warriors pretty much. Like, I mean, Dame and Curry are pretty much the same skill set, not skill set, but skill level. And then, we got Covington, who's pretty much our Draymond, which he isn't really Draymond, but like I said, we're a Walmart version. CJ's the Walmart version of McCollum. We actually have a better center than
CJ is the Walmart version of McCollum.
of Clay, my bad, of Clay. And then for our center, though, we pretty much have a better center than any of the Warriors centers that were on the team that year, or any of the years. And
I mean, Kanter's
like
one of the best offensive rebounders in the league.
Oh yeah, Cantor. But I was talking about Nurkic. He's pretty skillful, or he's super skillful for like.
Oh, yeah.
He's kind of a Walmart Jokic if you think about it. I'm just
Yeah,
trying to think
I
of
could give you that. I could give you Walmart Jokic.
just I'm trying to think of like ways to say that like we're not we're not I'm trying to explain how we are. Like we're just discount players pretty much. That's what they are. That's the problem I feel like. Like everyone's not as because if everyone was at their best, then we'd be like, we'd have all the stars, you know what I mean? And
Imagine if
then
you
we would
had
probably
Prime
win.
Mello on your team.
Oh my goodness. Then we probably wouldn't have a problem. We wouldn't have a problem,
You,
I think.
you know what? I'm gonna say this. This is gonna be the most controversial thing I might ever say. The greatest move in basketball history is Carmelo Anthony's mid range. It is one of the most unstoppable plays in basketball.
Or
Like
his corner
I put it
three.
up, huh?
His corner three too. Or like
Yeah,
recently anyway.
I put it up there with Kareem's like skyhook. Like
Mm,
Melo's fade, like Melo's like midi is just incredible.
yeah.
I'm a Melo fanboy, so of course that's why I'm saying that. I think I was watching like a 28-minute highlight video of him on the Knicks the other day just because I was reminiscing. But I think I'm gonna actually thank the Trailblazers for giving Melo a second chance at life,
Yeah.
a new lease on life, and he's doing good. He's doing good.
Yeah. I'm glad we got him. It's so funny because not we don't need him, but like he's like a player like I'm pretty sure we pay him minimum, right? Right now
We
he's
pay
like
him a
minimum one
little over
year.
minimum.
But
We
yeah,
pay
but
him a
like
little over minimum.
we get him for such a discount and he's better than most bench players, like because he gives us so much points. He can give us like 20 a night if he wanted to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the thing. And we pay him barely over minimum. I'm like, most bench players can't even do that, like easy 20, you know what I mean? And then he does good rebounding. I mean, obviously, like he's old, so it's not like, he's like a super big
He's
physical
old.
presence. But, he gets up there and he swears, tell him, get the F out of the way. I got it. he, he's, he's he's like real forward about it, I'm just glad he doesn't sit back. You know what I mean? I feel like it's because he knows it's not coming to an end, but you know what I mean? He knows he's not the same Melo, so he has to give more effort than anything. It's not so much, not skill, but like he's not as youthful as before, so he needs to be much more blunt about it, his playing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I kind of feel bad for our guards, though. I feel like we have so much talented guards and we can't, because I feel like Anthony Simons would be super good, but like, we have Dame, so we're not going to start anyone over Dame. Gary Trent is super good, but we're not going to start him over CJ. But it's good to have those guys on the bench. I feel like one of our strengths is that we have really, really good depth. If we had Zach Collins, we'd have super good depth too. Zach Collins not really good, but he's a good bench player. You know what I mean?
He went to a good college though.
Gonzaga.
Gonzaga. Yeah, I love Gonzaga.
Yeah. But yeah, I just wanted to go over that. Hopefully we don't get worse when the guys come back, but I feel like that's what's gonna happen just because obviously you're not gonna suppress CJ and Nurkic if you have them. You know what I mean? But like,
Also, wait, I have a question, real quick. Do you think you guys should start Melo, or have you been starting Melo?
no, I think we start Covington, and I'm pretty sure we start Derek Jones just for defense wise.
Do you think
I
you
mean,
guys should be starting Melo?
we could. I mean, the thing is, Melo's not really not a defensive presence because obviously he gives a lot of effort on defense, but I feel like it's hard when it's Covington because Covington's Covington. He's like his main thing is defense, and you got Derek Jones Jr. who I think now pretty much his main thing is defense. So like I can see us
slasher.
yeah, 2-way slasher, but it's just hard because I feel like Melo, because obviously Melo got them on points. I'll give him that much. He can score way more than both of them. Not both of them combined, but you know what I mean. Like both of them, his scoring ability is way better. But I feel
Prime
like
Melo
the
can
thing,
outscore them combined.
the only thing is, I think Melo could be a starter, but I think the reason he doesn't start on our team is because we don't need scoring in the starting rotation. We need defense and stops, and that's why I like starting Covington and Derek Jones just because that's pretty much because like I said, we don't need shooters, you know what I mean? A lot of people need shooters or like slasher. We don't need scoring, we just need defense, and we need good defense. So that's why we have both of them out, because they're pretty much not average, but you know what I mean, they're not both Draymond, you know what I mean, or like Giannis or whatever. So as long as we have both of them out there, we have a pretty good defensive presence. So that's the only thing that's hard for me to start Melo, is that I don't think Melo could keep up defensively just because other guys are pretty much faster than him.
Yeah, the only reason I bring that up is because, like I said, I was watching some Melo highlights. So I was watching like his fourth quarter brilliance again on TNT.
Hmm.
The game you guys won was it against the
Yeah,
Sixers.
I think so.
Yeah. And like people in the comments were like, Blazers coach is an idiot for not starting, and they were saying a lot more vulgar words than what I'm saying. But, like, they're calling Terry Stotts like an idiot and stuff like that, and I'm like, I swear, there's like he's actually better off the bench than he would be starting.
Yeah, no,
Like
I
just
think
because
he
of the
is.
yeah.
I
So
think he knows
I don't
that too.
know.
That's why he doesn't have a problem with it. You know what I mean?
I think he
Because
finally
obviously,
accepted like the role that he like plays
yeah.
in the team.
Because last year, right, with us, he said he didn't want to come off the bench. And obviously, since he's fine with it now, there's got to be something that's changed. You got to realize, like, oh, I'm better off the bench, or it's better, my team's better off the bench. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I think I think it's because since you guys got Rocco, it was like I think that was like the main reason for getting Rocco
Hmm.
was I think you had a talk with Anthony and like you had a talk
Yeah.
with Melo, like basically like he's like, yeah, no, I think I understand a little bit more. I think he matured a little bit more.
Yeah.
I think at first he wanted to show like what he has and like that he's still like
As soon as he
about
gained the
it.
respect, yeah, then he was
Yeah.
fine
As
with
soon as
it.
he gained the respect, he was good.
Plus, too, I think the problem was that we didn't have good enough forwards that were better than Melo. So that was the
Mhm.
problem too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't say the guy ahead of him is better. Like, we had Zach Collins and who was it? Who
Um
else did we have at small
uh
forward?
not Harry Giles.
Yeah, we just got Giles this year too. I like
Yeah,
that pickup too.
yeah, that's actually not a bad pickup. I'm trying to think
Zach
of who
Collins.
you
We
guys
had
had.
Melo starting. That's the thing. We had Melo starting because we
I
didn't
keep
have
thinking
anyone
Wayne
else.
Gabriel.
Gabriel. I think we had him. We had him at one point, but I don't think. Let me see. Trailblazers roster. Was it 2020? Oh, 2019, yeah.
Yeah, 2019, 2020.
Melo. Oh, I forgot we had Paul Gasol.
You guys had Paul Gasol?
Yeah, I remember we signed him, but he didn't play at all because
Uh,
he got hurt and then retired. And I was like, oh, well, there that
oh,
went.
well.
Oh, we had Evan Turner. Rodney Hood was hurt, so he wasn't playing.
Rodney Hood.
That's who was starting?
Yeah, I think it was Rodney
Oh,
Hood.
no, Mo Harkless. Is Mo Harkless. Because I
Oh,
remember
and
Rodney
then
Hood was hurt. He got hurt during like the playoffs the year before, and he only came back like recently. But yeah, we had actually a lot of guys. We had Mario Hezonja, Caleb Swanigan. But yeah, like you see, all those guys are like, or well, Melo last year anyway, because obviously Melo's not more solid this year, but like it's kind of controversial last year if he was still doing good. But like we
mhm.
had those guys who are like barely better. But I think since Melo realized that Covington, because we brought Covington in for defense, I feel like since Melo knew like, oh, I can't do what he does for the team, so he's like, okay, then I'm fine with it now. You know what I mean? And it's not like he gets bad bench minutes. I'm pretty sure he's like our designated sixth man besides Gary Trent, but he's kind of been choking it too. So yeah, Gary Trent's been choking it, so it's like, oh, Melo's our sixth man now. But I feel like as long as we give Melo, I feel like Melo, as long as he knows he's getting what he deserves, he's fine with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
As long
No,
as
I
he's not
get you.
getting screwed, he's fine.
But I think that's all for us.
Hmm.
We tried to do a short episode, but I'm pretty sure this is not a short episode whatsoever. We talk on tangents too much, but thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that sort of stuff. Follow us on Instagram at Liho_sports. Follow us on our gaming channel now, Liho Gaming. It's on YouTube. We're trying to make a logo for it. We do streams not nightly, but we try to do it as much as we can. Hopefully, we'll be doing videos as well soon. Look for a little teaser right now. Look for a mock draft video to be coming up soon.
Yep.
And yeah, we'll catch you guys later. Shoots.
Shoots.